everyone. Hello. I'd like to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals for November 12th, 2025. Can we start with roll call? Will you call it, Michelle?
Here.
Mr. Flaskamp, Mr. Clampett,
Here.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Here.
Mr. Jarrett,
Here.
Mr. King,
Here.
Chairman Pete.
Here. Thank you so much. We have a quorum, so we'll start our meeting. First, we'll approve the meeting minutes from the previous meeting. We'll take a look at new business. We'll open the hearing and have the hearing of old business and new business. We'll close the hearing and then get public comments on non-agenda items, and then we'll adjourn the meeting for this evening. I'd like to, can someone give me a motion for the approval of minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of October 8th, 2025.
I'll second.
Okay, I had a motion to approve and a second. Any nays? Okay, we don't have to do nays.
We need
Okay.
to,
Any comments on those?
yeah.
All right, and then I'll take a roll call on that approval. Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Ackerman,
Yes.
Commissioner Clampett,
Yes.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett.
Yes.
Meeting for October 8th minutes are approved. All right, thank you. Is there any new business to be heard tonight? We have a discussion topic listed as appointing vice chair and secretary positions for discussion. So we can open the floor for that conversation. Commissioner Jarrett, would you like to start? I know you mentioned it a
Yeah,
meeting or so ago.
I just know that's something that is in the ordinance. I believe it's in the ordinance for all the commissions. The primary benefit of having a vice chair is that you don't have to go through the motions of appointing and voting on a chairman pro tem if the president, if the chair is not present. So it's probably a good thing to do. And then as far as the secretary position, I'm not sure exactly what role that would have here with staff taking minutes, but there could be a situation where detailed notes of a motion or something may want to be taken for a recommendation. I think the work involved with that would be pretty limited, but I think if it's there, we can probably do it so we've got it if we need it.
Okay,
Just my thoughts.
all right. Any other thoughts on those two roles?
So, and other government boards that I'm on, that one thing is that the secretary position can also just be used to be the ones making motions a lot of the time, just to make sure things kind of follow the process.
Right.
So they get kind of a list of all the motions, and they would say, I move to approve this, I move to open discussion. And then usually like the vice chair or someone else seconds, just to make things a little bit smoother so we're not always asking. So that's an idea if we want to do that.
Yeah, I know on the Planning and Zoning Commission, we had a commissioner who was an attorney as well, and he would frequently be the one to draft more complex motions, like if there were a number of conditions, because he kind of understood how they needed to be worded or should be worded, and you know, when specificity was needed and when brevity was needed, and those sort of things. So I understand what you're saying on that entirely.
Okay. Any other comments about these roles? Just as the floor is open for us, we're just talking about it. I think that if someone's, I would reach out to each of you. I know it's for all of us to vote for, so when it happens, but I'll ask, we can talk about this on sidebar one-on-one and just see who's interested. You could say you're interested now, or we could talk about it later. And then in our maybe December meeting, possibly, we'll see, again, because all of us are deciding, we could take that vote or get that on the agenda with possibly a name, or we can talk about how we want to handle it. and then we can vote for it at our next meeting.
Yeah,
I'm-
I have no problem saying on the record that I would be more than happy to do the role of vice chair if there's any interest in that, because I've chaired the similar version of this commission and I have the professional experience, but I understand that
Okay,
others may feel differently, so.
all right. So, someone down here, someone's interested?
No.
Okay, you don't have to say you're not, I'm just, because we're talking about it, that's why I'm asking. So, we can do this on sidebar, I think that would be appropriate too, in case people have something they want to say, one-on-one, or even you guys between each other. So, let's do that and try to get it wrapped up. Even if it's in January, I don't know who's here, who all is here next month. I know everyone is not, so we want to make sure everyone can participate.
I will not be here next month, just to let you know.
Right.
I'll let you know that early on.
Right,
So,
that's why
yeah.
I'm saying. Yeah. And then the same thing for the secretary position. As we just discussed, it will probably be limited because of how things are and because of technology and things getting captured a certain way. But I guess we could still fulfill that open role if we decide to do so.
Yeah,
So-
and on the previous commission, I asked Justin if he wanted the role of secretary, and he said, no, I'll keep making the motions, I just don't want the title.
Right.
So, so,
All right, that's fair. So let's keep this one on agenda for next month as well, and then we'll follow up if anything happens and we have something to do or vote on when we come back in December. All right? Yes, absolutely. Okay. Any other new business that we didn't list that someone had for us or anyone on the commission? Okay. So we'll close that section of the meeting as far as new business. I'd like to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Correct. Do I get a second?
Second.
Okay. So the public hearing is now open for old business, and we'll go into hearing new business, which would include the ZBA 2511 and the presentations by both the staff and the petitioner. Oh, okay. All right. All right.
You know, it's a little different than how we usually do things, but
Right.
tonight, case ZBA 25-11 is for 427 North Wisconsin Avenue. This is for a variation to permit a 5-foot tall vinyl fence in the front yard. I'll go over a summary of the applicant's request, allow for the petitioner to make any additional comments, allow for the commission to have, make any clarifying questions, hold the public hearing, and then commission discussion and motion if appropriate. The petitioner is seeking a variation from section 9.2.2, allowed fence heights and location to permit a 5-foot tall privacy fence in the front yard instead of a 4-foot tall open style fence. The lot is on the corner of North Wisconsin and West Vermont Street, and the home's front door faces Vermont Street. However, the zoning front lot is the yard adjacent to Wisconsin Avenue. A majority of the fence installed by the homeowner is compliant at a 3-foot tall open style fence. That fence is included on the south and west property lines. However, approximately 40 feet of fencing along the northern property line is a 5-foot tall privacy fence, and I'll show this on a site plan on the next slide. Due to an administrative error, the variation was missed during that permit revision, and so this is why we're requesting the variation tonight. Other than that, the fence does comply with all required visibility regulations at the corner and doesn't pose any safety risks. So on the screen, the pink is the compliant fence. That's a 3-foot tall open style fence. The line in green is the fence portion that that the petitioner is requesting the variation for. That's the 5-foot tall privacy fence. And then I've also included some photographs of the currently installed fence. As noted, this was a staff administrative error. So the fence is installed. So the pictures on the screen are the variation that you are considering tonight. On the screen are the variation review and approval criteria. we will hold a public hearing and allow for anyone in the audience to speak on the petition. And then staff has prepared a sample motion. Staff did receive a letter which was included in all of the packets and on the online agenda, noting some concerns regarding the privacy fence on the corner, which I believe the chairman may be reading into the record a little later. And with that, staff or the petitioner are available to answer any questions.
Okay. Very good. Good, you're done? All right. Thank you very much. Is there any, no questions for staff, right? You guys are fine? Okay. Oh, all right. May we have the petitioner for ZBA 2511 approach to the podium? Hello. Can you state your name for the record, and then we're going to swear you in?
My name is Nathan Maddox.
Thank you, Nathan. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the information and testimony that you are about to give to this proceeding before the Zoning Board of Appeals of Villa Park is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Thank you. Go ahead and present your presentation on your issue.
Okay. My family and I moved into this neighborhood around 8 months ago, knowing that we wanted to, and we have 2 young kids, knew that we wanted to put up a fence. We have 2 young boys, toddlers, that we wanted to be able to let roam around the area and keep them enclosed. So started saving up money to build a fence, got a design and a quote, and went through the proper channels of submitting for a permit. Got a few questions back, answered those questions to clarify exactly what was going on in this pink area and in the green area. I described exactly which location I would have the 3-foot tall open style fence. I described the exact location that the 5-foot tall privacy fence would go in. And then I received formal approval from the permitting office, and then proceeded from there. And installed the fence. And then around 2 months later, I got a call saying that, they were so sorry, but that they made a mistake, and that the fence in that one section was not per code. I was not, I wasn't aware of that. I just wanted a little bit more privacy for my family, and that was the only reason that I went for that route. Submitted it, thought I was doing the right thing. And then, she said, or they told me that the only options were to either go through this process or to take it out. Taking it out would cost me an additional $2,000 to take it out and replace it. So that was the reason for going the route of appealing for this process.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions here for the petitioner? Because I do have some questions.
Yeah, I've got one question. 431, your neighbor to the north, is their driveway further away from the fence, from the vinyl fence, or is it next to the vinyl fence?
It is not right up next to the fences.
It's on the
other side of their yard.
Okay.
Yeah. It's over here.
Okay. Did the village, because we go and we try to look at the property and see what's going on. You see on the bottom picture in the back, that fence, that's not in question. To the east
No, the back fence is what's in
and the
question.
west. So anything else is good? Okay. I think those are all my questions about it, without going into details that I don't need to. Do you have any more insights you want to add? Is that good enough for you? We're going to ask you questions. We just make sure you get your story out.
That's good enough for me.
All right, that's good. All right, so now, if there's any public comment, we can allow that now. And normally, it'll be at the chair's discretion, that's me, how long you will go on talking about any issues you might have, or whether you're for it or against it or whatever. So are there any public comments at this time regarding this? Yes.
I live next door.
Okay, can you then approach the podium as well, and then I'll have to swear you in?
Okay.
Thank you.
Do I sit
Let
down?
him take the podium. We'll address you if we need to. Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you state your name?
Thomas Finnerty.
Thanks, Thomas. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the information and testimony that you are about to give to this proceeding before the Zoning Board of Appeals of Villa Park is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief? Thank you, sir.
So I have, originally, I'm the one that called and asked if this fence was legal. I went online, looked at some stuff, and I thought it was too high. I thought 3 foot was the max. When I first pulled up and seen the fence, I was like, I thought it looked terrible, which really isn't the main reason I'm here. Before, I've been there since 2018, and it's the only fence on the whole block, or 2 blocks, like that. Otherwise, it looks open. My house is small, it's a 2-bedroom. Now it looks like it's closed in. But I guess that's besides the point, it's whether it's legal or not. And the biggest concern I have is safety. You know, I took a couple pictures. I have a picture of a little girl that lives right next door, and she's always about playing out there, kicking her soccer ball. And also, today, well, they line up every school day. Cars line up along that same side. If somebody came running across that fence for a ball, there's so many obstructions there, it's very dangerous. And if you don't think something could happen bad, when I was in junior high, a friend I played with, his mother unfortunately backed into this little girl that lived next door and killed her. It could happen, you know, it could happen. I asked Nathan, I said, you know, why didn't you continue that black fence all the way around? It looks beautiful. He goes, well, I didn't want my kids climbing over the fence into your yard. I'm like, that I didn't really understand, because if they could ever get to the point where they can climb a fence, it would be the black one, and they could just walk around. So I really don't know. I didn't understand the reasoning anyway. But I think it's really, really a big-time safety risk. It would be nicer if you could see through it, you know. Shorter would help, but I mean, the black fence looks really nice. I don't understand, you know, why he put it there, actually. And I think it's a huge, huge safety risk. Especially there's a school across the street. And like I said, people line up their cars right on the side there.
Right.
I mean, I just wanted on the record that I brought up all these concerns. God forbid something happens, I don't want to be held accountable, you know? So, I mean, that's all I got.
Are you saying cars are on both sides of the street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when school's out, so it's really a,
Well, technically, you're only supposed to
you know,
park
and
on
I
one
was
side.
looking online, they
Yeah,
have
they're
like
gonna
the,
line up here
like
and
the
then turn in.
triangle of, visual triangle thing. And I don't know, I took a picture on my phone. Is there any way I could show you guys that, or?
I don't think there is a way to project it, but I
All right,
think
so let
the
me
village
try to
staff
explain it.
gives it,
The
no,
best
we
I
know,
can.
we are aware of it because
So
we have.
I'll explain it the best I can.
Okay.
Let's say there's a driveway on that side of the fence.
Right.
Somebody asked about that. You did, right?
Yeah.
So then that becomes a visual triangle thing, right? If
Well-
there's a driveway?
It would be a problem for you backing out.
Right. So what's the difference between a car backing up or a kid running across from there?
Well,
is my question, you know?
well, right. I don't know that we'll be able to answer,
Okay.
you know, situational, right,
Right.
descriptions of if this happened or that, because there's not a driveway there. But
Right.
from the corner point where where that corner and that small fence is,
Right,
we would want them to have a view that cuts across that yard, which is the
Right.
case.
I
That's
see
why
that.
the corner black fence
Right.
is not in question.
right,
So only the fence there.
correct.
And it looks as though where the black fence is, in this picture, sorry, I can't tell, it's on the north side of the street, and the school is on the south side. That's the side where
It's
the
on the
school
west side,
is.
I think, the black
Well, the
fence.
people may be parking on the west side, but the school's right here, right? If we were standing in there.
School south of us,
Right. So that street they're parking on is the neighborhood street, not the street in front of the school.
no, I didn't say that.
Oh, no, I know. I'm not
Okay.
saying you
Oh,
did.
sorry. Okay.
I'm just also clarifying. So
Okay.
they're parking down the neighborhood street.
Correct.
And again, I think you were asking, is there even parking allowed there? So that could be another safety thing. But I
Right.
think we have the picture of what is going on, and then we'll be able to, ask the petitioner and yourself more questions. But I think now
And then
we,
also, if you look at if I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at, is there 3 pictures up there? The lower left, there's a tree on the parkway on my property. And then I took a picture today on my phone. There was a car parked right there too. Now you got this much where the sidewalk is, there's a tree, and then nothing, hardly anything in a car. You've got no visibility of somebody coming out from behind that fence.
just from your perspective, are you saying your home is the home right next door?
Right,
Okay.
just north.
Just asking, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for your insight and information about this. We appreciate it. At this point, we're going to move ahead and have the question and answers from the commissioners now.
Okay.
So we can discuss it, and we'll ask a question if we have one at this
All
time.
right.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
So are there any other public comments? Okay, will you approach? Okay. Will you state your name?
Good evening. Eric Ubelar.
Eric Ublar. Can you raise your right hand? Do you swear that the information and testimony that you're about to give to this proceeding before the Zoning Board of Appeals for Villa Park is true and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief?
I do.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm a friend of Nathan. I also professionally, I work in commercial real estate development and work through permitting and entitlements all the time, mostly on a commercial scale. Loosely familiar with residential, but Lee reached out when this came up, and we've talked through, and I just wanted to, pardon me, vocalize my support for Lee and the process that he's gone through. I think from my standpoint, the public process was in place. He consulted. I know he actually modified his fence plan. I think he had initially planned for a taller fence at the corner of the lot, and then consulted with staff and was advised about the 20-foot site triangle requirement. So I think public right-of-ways exist for a reason. The sidewalk is there. The site triangle is maintained. He went back and forth. He got his approvals and then spent a significant amount of money. I know if we're talking a commercial project, I think financially that shouldn't be a hardship. I do think it's relevant from a residential standpoint when going through the process, and so just wanted to call out. I think Lee did everything he could I don't think he's ordinary, but as an ordinary citizen, to protect himself and his family and their investment. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments as well. Okay. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak on this matter? Okay. I see none. We will move to the commissioner's questions to staff or commissioner's questions to the petitioner.
Do we have to read in the statement?
Thank you. Well, I'm not going to close yet. I have to read this other statement. There's someone who is not present who wrote an email. So this is not from the commissioners. It's from another resident. So I'll read it at this time. Obviously, she won't be sworn. So Angela Merman and I think that's MEHRMAN. This is a dot matrix printer. My name is Angela Merman. My husband and I live on North Wisconsin Avenue, and we received the invitation for the public hearing on the 12th of November regarding the fence petition on 427 North Wisconsin. We are unable to make the hearing, but we would like to voice our comment. We would like to say that having a privacy fence on that corner would be a hazard for traffic, both for vehicles and pedestrians alike. You would not be able to see around any of the oncoming vehicles. There is also a hazard already on that corner with vehicles parking on the sides of Vermont after school when it is let out. It would make it even more dangerous for anyone trying to turn off Wisconsin if they cannot see around the fence. Also, it would cause a hazard for any children or pedestrians trying to cross Vermont, even crossing Wisconsin, because of oncoming traffic not being able to see them before they get to the intersection. We would like to advise that the zoning board not allow for a privacy fence to be put in. Best regards, Angela Merman. That's the end of that resident's statement. Okay. So at this point, we'll close out the hearing, and we will allow the commissioners to have questions, and also to the staff and to the petitioners. Okay. Are there any questions from the commissioners?
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do we know at Jefferson, do they have a parking plan? Because usually you're not able to park on both sides of the streets.
I don't think it's about a parking plan. I think it's more just like them turning into it, a lot of it.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because she said that they park on both sides of the streets, and it's more challenging for them to park when they're both on both sides of the streets.
Yeah.
So if they have a parking plan and they're not supposed to be parking on both sides of the streets, that would alleviate some of the challenges and the safety issues that the one resident who sent this in is addressing.
No, I-
Parking's not permitted on the west side of Wisconsin, so if they're parking there, that's illegal.
Correct.
So
Just
that's
for
the issue.
record.
So that's an issue on the school's portion, not on the residents' portion by any means.
Right.
I do think with the email, it does seem to be more referring to a belief that a new fence would come up on the corner versus the fence that's already there.
Right.
And I don't,
So,
that's not happening.
right.
I would agree with that interpretation.
I just want to confirm, I know staff has mentioned it, but with the triangle, there were no safety concerns with the fence when it was placed, correct?
Sure.
So the site triangle that has been mentioned, the site triangle comes into play at driveways and at the corners, anything over 3 feet in height. So the existing black fence that's there, you can see through it, and it's below the height that would be required for that visibility triangle. At a driveway, the visibility triangle is also required. That's created by measuring back from the point of the two intersections of the property line 10 feet and then drawing a line between those. So in this case, where the driveway is not immediately opposite that existing fence, the visibility triangle would not come into play in this lot orientation.
And I understand it to be true, but can you go ahead and validate this? The work is done. There's no more fencing to come. There would not be a fence added to the corner other than the fence is there. It's done already, correct?
Correct.
All right. So,
The variation being requested is for the current conditions on site.
right. So if we stand at either points of those crosshairs, what we would see that it is visible across the plane that's defined. And there's no additional fencing being put in, right?
Correct.
Okay. Does-
Can you,
Does-
I don't
Go
know,
ahead.
can you reckon?
Go ahead. Yes, I recognize you. Can, I think you have to. Can you approach again? I'm sorry. Oh, and this is, I guess you can ask, but the hearing's over now, but. That's my fault, thank you.
Just real quick, when I went into the village hall and asked about the height of the fence, I was told that's considered his front yard,
Okay,
and that's supposed to be over 3 feet.
okay,
So-
thank you. So a couple of the things that I'm hearing, and I'm talking to everyone, I guess. When the village approved this, so that's number one, an issue, that he did what he was supposed to do and got approval. But the line of sight for visibility, that requirement is met. There's not another, so the other fence is clearly, is that beige? You're not going up to the corner and turning the corner and putting a beige fence up there, correct? So that's what I was just clarifying. So with that not being there, I don't see that you can't see around the corner either way for visibility. And then the parking, if folks aren't supposed to be parking on the street, then by them not doing that on both sides, that'll reduce issues. And then the school is actually effectively across the street on the other side, not in front of the home. Okay, so kind of my statements and questions, I guess, but any other statements or questions for
One
staff?
question. The school is across the street?
That way. So on that top picture, we could see the school is
It's on the south side.
south side.
Oh,
of
it's on the
street.
south side, okay.
So his front of his house faces the school.
Okay.
Right. And then there's no driveway on this side of the fence. As you can see, there's shrubbery and plants there, so. Okay. Any other questions for the petitioner or staff? No? Okay. Well, any questions among the commissioners? Do we have any discussion we would like to have between ourselves? Okay, I see none. Yeah, go ahead. We can have a motion to approve this, to move forward and recommend it to stay in place or to not stay in place.
So I'm going to make the motion to recommend approval of ZBA 25-11 for a variation from section 9.2.2, allowed fence heights and locations to permit a 5-foot tall fence and a solid style fence in the front yard.
Okay,
I second that.
I have a second. Thank you. Any nays? We're going to take a roll call. Commissioner Flaskamp,
Yes?
Commissioner Clampett,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Kane,
Yes.
and Commissioner Ackerman.
Yes.
And so with that, this motion passes, so ZBA 25-11 passes. Okay. We do not have any additional new business or appeals to approve this evening. So on that, I'll close the hearing. And now we'll move to any public comments on non-agenda items. I don't have any listed here. Are there any non-agenda items for the public to speak on? Okay. Seeing none, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, with that, we got a lot of them. You sure? We will adjourn today's meeting for November.
We should take a vote on that.
Oh, I forgot, thank you. I'm getting ahead of myself. We could take a vote on adjourning today's meeting. Trustee Ackerman,
Yes.
Trustee Flaskamp,
Yes.
Trustee Clampett.
Yes.
I keep doing trustee, I'm sorry. Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Actually, I think it's noted.
Commissioner Jarrett,
Yes.
Commissioner Kane.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll close today's meeting for November 12th, 2025. Have a good evening.
Yes. Mhm.